Welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive. Now, in this episode, I have for you a message from Donald Trump over on Truth Social. I think they call it a truth. I think it's one of the lamest apps out there. But anyways, I digress. We're going to get into what he has to say. There's a little bit to unpack here, so we're going to get right into it. All federal funding will stop for any college, school, or university that allows illegal protests. Agitators will be imprisoned or permanently sent back to the country from which they came. American students will be permanently expelled or, depending on their crime, arrested. No mask! Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, as you see, this is absolute garbage. First off, this is an attack on our First Amendment rights and the First Amendment rights of college students across this country. Secondly, Trump has made it clear through his actions and things he has said that any protest that is against him or against something that he supports is an illegal protest. He made that clear during his first term. Saying that agitators will be imprisoned or permanently sent back to their home country that they came from. Right? Well, what's he trying to say there, right? What he's saying is that he believes that the majority of protesters are not Americans. That they're not residents of the United States of America. Also, what this is also saying is that he is willing to deport American citizens who happen to be naturalized if they protest. But the thing is, once you become an American, you have access to the First Amendment here in the United States. You have the ability to express your grievances with your government. It is stated in the First Amendment. But he's also stating, though, that most of these protesters aren't Americans, which isn't true. But the fact that American students will be expelled from college simply for joining a protest is ridiculous. There again, an attack on the First Amendment. But the thing that really gets me, because all it makes it all fits his brand, right? It's all on brand for Donald Trump, the pathetic man that he is. But here you go. It's the no mask thing. First off, why is he yelling about masks? I find it interesting that these people protesting on college campuses, which I haven't heard of many protests going on, but I know there were a number of them throughout last year over Gaza. But these people aren't supposed to wear masks, but the Proud Boys who walked around Cincinnati, Ohio and stuff like that over the last few months are okay to protest and wear masks. Those were technically illegal too because they didn't have permits for those protests. So are any of them going to be imprisoned or expelled from the country? No. Are they going to be expelled from their college or university that they may be associated with? No. Because what it is for Donald Trump is he wants freedom for everybody that he likes, but prison time for everybody he doesn't. And that's just what Donald Trump is. He's a fascist. It makes it very clear here that he has no regard for the Constitution of the United States of America. In what's supposed to be the freest country in the world, he is now saying that college students don't have the right to protest in any protest that he deems illegal. But really, what constitutes an illegal protest? You don't get permits from the city, you don't get permits from the college. Or is it just illegal because Donald Trump says so? Doesn't sound like freedom to me. It definitely doesn't sound like the country I grew up in. Now, there have been lots of stuff that have happened to people that have protested in the past in this country. FBI files a mile long on people that were protesting the Vietnam War. And this is what this harkens back to. Because he thinks that's okay. He thinks what we did, with communism and Vietnam and all that stuff, that he thinks that's okay. And he's going to start blacklisting people. And I don't mean to be alarmist, but this is what fascists do. This is what fascist dictators do. They quiet the people. They silence us and tell us that we're not allowed to speak, that we don't have a right to speak. But all the more reason for more protest on college campuses and protests in general. I have heard that there's going to be a mass protest across the country and in Washington, D.C. at every capital in the United States on March 14th for veterans who do not support what Donald Trump is doing to the Veterans Administration and the cutting of funds to the VA. So if you're part of that community or you have the ability to get out and support the veteran community, then get out there and do that on March 14th. Anyhow, have a good day, and I'll see you down the road.